Mr. President, and you definitely deserve the first FIFA Peace Prize for your action, for what you have obtained in your way, but you obtained it in an incredible way, and you can always count, Mr. President, on my support, on the support of the entire football community or soccer community to help you make peace and make the world prosper all over the world. Thank you very much, Mr. President. The floor is all yours. Thank you. This is your Peace Prize. There is also a beautiful medal for you that you can wear everywhere you want to go.
I'm gonna wear it right now.
Okay, let me hold. Fantastic. Excellent.
What in the world are you doing, Donald? I mean, seriously, what is happening? Donald Trump is crashing out on Friday morning in ways that would be almost comical if they weren't so pathetic and dangerous. We've got so much breaking news to cover, and all of it reveals just how deeply unserious and corrupt this administration has become. So buckle up, because we're going through all of it, and every single detail is more absurd than the last. First, we learned that Trump has now fired the architect of his golden ballroom that he's building after demolishing the east wing of the White House. Yes, you heard that correctly. While Americans are struggling with affordability, while people are living paycheck to paycheck if they're even getting paychecks at all, Trump is focused on making his personal ballroom at the White House even bigger and more extravagant. And he just fired the main architect because apparently the ballroom wasn't gaudy enough for his tastes. By the way, I am trying to do my best to gather all the information I can for you and share it with you. Please leave your likes and comments, and I would be grateful if you subscribed. Let's continue. We learned that the CDC Vaccine Advisory Panel has now removed the recommendation for children at birth to get the hepatitis B vaccine. This is a massive change to childhood immunization schedules happening under Anti-Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr., and it's going to make America sicker. We'll get to that in detail. We're learning that the FBI was caught providing chaperones to Kash Patel's girlfriend's friends when they go out partying, giving them rides as ordered by Patel himself. Your tax dollars at work, folks. While you're struggling to afford groceries, FBI agents are being used as personal chauffeurs for the FBI director's girlfriend's drinking buddies. But what's Donald Trump doing this morning as his regime is collapsing around him? He made FIFA, the international soccer organization, create a peace prize. They had their first inaugural Peace Prize ceremony, and Donald Trump made them award the Peace Prize to himself. Then, he had the head of FIFA hold a ceremony so Trump could receive his participation trophy medal, and he was wearing it looking so proud and happy, like a child at a school assembly. This guy is utterly deranged. Do we realize how weak and pathetic he looks? Let me show you the actual footage, because you need to see this to believe it. Here's Trump at this award ceremony for a peace prize for soccer. Why is he creating a peace prize? What the hell is going on? Watch how happy he is to get this self-awarded trophy. The FIFA president tells Trump, "You definitely deserve the first FIFA Peace Prize for your action, for what you have obtained in your way. You obtained it in an incredible way. You can always count on my support, on the support of the entire football community, our soccer community, to help you make peace and make the world prosper all over the world." And Trump is just beaming. When he gets this fake medal, watch how happy he looks. They present him with what they call his beautiful Peace Prize, and Trump literally says, "I'm going to wear it right now," and puts the medal on like a 5-year-old getting a gold star sticker. Then he gives this bizarre, rambling speech about why soccer is called football in other countries, but we call it soccer in America, because we have that other sport called football. And Trump starts musing about whether soccer should really be called football instead. He's literally standing there with a medal he gave himself, rambling incoherently about sports terminology. This is the President of the United States, folks. Going back to the fired architect situation, Mockery architects are gone because Trump wanted to build his ballroom even bigger. It's already 3 times the size of a normal White House reception area, but Trump demanded bigger. And here's the kicker that anyone who knows Trump's history saw coming. He's not paying his contractors. That's right. The contractors working on Trump's ballroom, including Mockery Architects, Clark Construction, and AECOM, did not go through the traditional government bidding process. Instead, Trump told them directly, "Don't worry about it. We'll pay you in the future." Sound familiar? It's the exact same scam Trump's pulled his entire business career. You know all those billionaires saying they were going to give commitments to pay for this? Yeah, maybe some of that money hasn't materialized yet. So you've got contractors and subcontractors right now asking, can we have our money? Trump is a fraud who can't even keep the architect of his ridiculous golden ballroom because he won't pay them. Now, let's talk about this pipe bomber story because it's developing, and everything out of Kash Patel's FBI requires major scrutiny. We're getting information about the identity of the potential pipe bomber from January 6th who planted devices at the DNC and RNC. The suspect is apparently Brian Cole Jr., and according to two people familiar with his interview, he confessed to agents that he planted the bombs because of his support for Donald Trump. He says he's a Trumper. He bought into all the Trump conspiracies. And here's the irony. That broad pardon Trump gave to anyone who was involved in, at, or around Washington, D.C. relating to the January 6th insurrection, well, it seems like this guy would now be covered by Trump's pardon based on how Trump framed it. It looks like Trump could have pardoned this domestic terrorist either accidentally or intentionally. Yes, folks, he's a Trumper. But we always have to question what this FBI under Patel is doing, because we're also learning from great reporting by MSNBC and The Washington Post that FBI Director Kash Patel, on more than one occasion, ordered the security detail protecting his girlfriend to escort one of her allegedly inebriated friends home after a night of partying in Nashville. Must be nice, right? While we, the people, are suffering under this Trump regime, while Americans are living paycheck to paycheck or worse, while we're all being psychologically tortured by what this regime is doing as everything becomes more expensive and less affordable, you've got Kash Patel flying around in private jets paid for by taxpayers, using FBI agents as personal transportation for his girlfriend's drunk friends. Trump is giving himself peace prizes. Has there ever been a more pathetic regime than this group of scumbags? Seriously. And then Speaker Mike Johnson goes on television this morning claiming they've had the most productive Congress in history. Let me show you what he actually said because the delusion is staggering. Johnson claims, if we stay unified, there's nothing we can't achieve. We've already demonstrated that. This Congress, we've had one of the most productive Congresses in the history of the institution. When asked if Trump needs to get on the phone to reluctant GOP members, Johnson admits Trump has been helpful when they've had 2, 3, or 4 holdouts on big legislation. He says he has a razor-thin majority and has to get every single Republican on most days, which takes a lot of work. But let's look at the actual headlines about Mike Johnson from today. These are from mainstream publications, not progressive outlets. Johnson pleads with Republicans to keep concerns private after a tumultuous week. Johnson scrambles to pass Pentagon bill as GOP rank and file seed. Johnson struggles to keep control of the House floor. Can Johnson survive until the midterms? Johnson faces growing frustration from Republicans as key issues expose rifts. The funny thing is, there was so much corporate media that would criticize Midas Touch for supposedly hyperbolic headlines. Well, your headlines now look exactly like what we were reporting 3 to 6 months ago when we were calling all this out based on our sourcing and research. That's why you should subscribe to this channel. We're consistently months or even years ahead of what corporate news reports. Back to the vaccine story, because this is genuinely dangerous. The CDC's Vaccine Advisory Board, ACIP, voted to end the long-standing recommendation that newborns receive the hepatitis B vaccine. This is the most significant change to the childhood immunization schedule under Robert Kennedy Jr.'s leadership at Health and Human Services. Senator Bill Cassidy, who's a former physician and chairs the Senate Health Committee, the same guy who allowed RFK to become HHS secretary, now admits this is a disaster. He said, "As a liver doctor who has treated patients with hepatitis B for decades, this change to the vaccine schedule is a mistake. The hepatitis B vaccine is safe and effective. The birth dose is a recommendation, not a mandate." Cassidy points out that before the birth dose was recommended, 20,000 newborns a year were infected with hepatitis B. Now it's fewer than 20. Ending the recommendation for newborns makes it more likely the number of cases will begin to increase again. This makes America sicker. But here's the thing, Cassidy. This is your crew. These are the people you empowered by voting to confirm RFK. You wanted this. Your entire legacy as a doctor is now one of medical malpractice and contributing to policies that will kill people. Shame on you. What else is Trump doing besides giving himself fake awards? He posted this morning, "I've just approved tiny cars to be built in America. Manufacturers have long wanted to do this, just like they are so successfully built in other countries. Tiny cars." He thinks he invented the concept of small vehicles. Who thought of this, Donald? Did you think of tiny cars this morning while you were firing your architect? Give this guy a tiny car medal. Someone call Toyota and tell them to create an award ceremony because Trump just discovered that compact cars exist. And Trump is ranting like a lunatic, claiming that Democrats' #1 policy push is the complete obliteration of the Supreme Court, that they'll terminate the filibuster and appoint 21 justices. His MAGA cult responds with traitors, treason, let the tribunals begin. These are sick, sick people. Speaking of sick, Kevin Hassett, Trump's national economic advisor, was asked when things will get more affordable. His response? Give us some time. It's coming. He literally said Biden dug a hole that they're working to fill, but it'll take more time. More time? Everything's gotten more expensive under Trump. Prices haven't come down on anything. People are suffering now, not in some hypothetical future when Trump's policies might theoretically work. Then you have MAGA Republican Congressman Jason Smith on CNBC, and even the CNBC host is asking, "Do you guys have a health care plan?" Smith can't answer. He just says Mike Johnson said they're working on a plan. Working on a plan. After nearly a year in office, after running on replacing Obamacare, after promising better health care, they're still just working on a plan. And Hassett goes on Fox claiming Trump is the best communicator he's ever seen, that Trump is solving all the world's problems, stopping wars, making tremendous economic progress. The delusion is complete. Trump's not solving anything. He's making things worse. He's starting trade wars. He's alienating allies. He's conducting potentially illegal military operations. He's gutting federal agencies. But sure, he's the best communicator ever. And I'll leave you with this beautiful moment of MAGA hypocrisy. Dan Bongino, now Deputy FBI Director, was a podcaster before joining the FBI. When he was getting paid to spread conspiracy theories, he posted about the January 6th pipe bomber, claiming there was a massive cover-up, that it must be an anti-Trump insider or an inside job. Now that we know the pipe bomber is a Trumper, one of Trump's own supporters, Bongino went on Fox and basically admitted he was just a paid liar before. He said, and I'm quoting, "I was paid in the past for my opinions. That's clear. And one day I'll be back in that space. But that's not what I'm paid for now. I'm paid to be your deputy director." So he admits he was paid to spread conspiracy theories as a podcaster, and now he's paid to be a government official, so he'll say whatever serves that role. That about sums up MAGA Republicans, grifters, frauds, people who will say whatever benefits them financially at any given moment, truth be damned. This is your government, folks. A president giving himself participation trophies for made-up awards. An FBI director using agents as chauffeurs for his girlfriend's friends. Contractors not getting paid for work on Trump's personal ballroom. Vaccine recommendations being gutted despite medical evidence. Economic advisors promising relief that never comes. A Congress that can't pass basic legislation or develop healthcare plans. And officials who openly admit they used to lie for money and might start lying for money again when they leave government. This is the regime. This is what MAGA has given America. Corruption, incompetence, and narcissism on a scale that would be funny if it weren't so dangerous. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of the coverage as this circus continues to collapse. We're leading independent media because we tell you the truth months before corporate outlets catch up. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.